Microphone is like trying to get my Christmas lights to work. I mean, you turn them on and you think you have them all set up, and then the timer doesn't work properly. You wake up in the morning and all your lights are still on. You're going, oh, can everybody hear me? Is that better? Little? Can we turn the volume up? I'll tell you my silly story about Christmas lights again. Is that better? That's much better. Now it's, I think, boom. Good morning. What a beautiful, wonderful crowd of people. And thank you all for spending time this morning celebrating your loved ones with their election. Going through an election is always very, very challenging. You think about it, you get weak knees. That's what you get too. And then you start with your petitions. And you quickly go through your petitions and you make sure that all your petitions are safely put together, that they're not stapled together. You have to make sure that everything is notarized, that you have correct addresses, make sure that it's printed as well as signature. You pray that your opponent is not going to bump you off as they check everything, which has happened, and you get challenged. And then you get on the ballot. And then the real nervousness begins as you start knocking on doors, campaigning, doing fundraising, wondering if you're going to win. And then miraculously you do. So with that, I'd like to bring this meeting to order. The hour of 10 o'clock has arrived. And I'd like to call the Kane County Board meeting of December 6, 2022 to order. 10:05. At this point, I'd like to bring up former Mayor Ray Rogina, who will be doing our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Before I do so, let me introduce you. Many of you know him, but if you don't, let me tell you about this remarkable man. Ray Rogina lives in St. Charles with his wife, Diane. They've been longtime residents there. He's a graduate from Illinois State University with a bachelor's and a master's degree. He's taught economics at law at St. Charles East High School for 3 decades. In addition to that, he also served as department chair for business and was union president for 3 terms. He also served as adjunct instructor for 19 years at the School of Law at the Department of Education at Aurora University. And then he entered politics. In 2011, he was elected as alderman for the city of St. Charles. And then in 2013, was elected the 18th mayor of St. Charles, where he served nobly for two terms. Now, upon his retirement, which his wife, I think, doesn't believe he is actually retired, Diane, he now has a podcast, which he does for Fox Valley Magazine. When he's not doing his podcast and introducing and interviewing interesting people, he runs. He's a marathon runner, and he's run 15 marathons. But one of the things I like most about Ray is the fact that he is a rare man who has such a passion for baseball that he has gone to almost every major league stadium and watched games there, as well as every other team that he could possibly manage to see. I've known Ray for a number of years, and I can't think of anybody better to do the invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance to bring this new board into a thoughtful process of your commitment to govern well for the next 2 years. Ray?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. It's a distinct honor to share some thoughts as the oath of office is taken by all 24 members of the Kane County Board, both newly elected and re-elected. And I will take the first moments here to have the Pledge of Allegiance then. All right. If you don't stand, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. Present the colors.
Ready? Oh.
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arm. Ready. Take. Forward. Arm.
Thank you. You may be seated. Friends, my time as a public servant in education and as an elected official has allowed me to make some judgments about the critical role of communication in the public sector. A meaningful two-way dialogue between, at that time, student and teacher or parent and teacher, in my mind, always paved the way for success in the classroom. When I was elected to public office, I sensed that that was still important, and I always felt that I was a teacher. And I made a valiant effort to keep a two-way dialogue among my fellow elected representatives, and more importantly, the community itself. I tell the story of an email I received as mayor from a resident outlining a problem and leaving a return address and a phone number. When I called her, she said, "Who is this?" And I said, "It's the mayor." And she said, "The mayor? The mayor? Well, I didn't expect you to call me." And I said, "Well, you left me a number." "I know, but the mayor." And I said, "Yes, ma'am, let's solve your problem." And this same principle of two-way communication should be the standard among the members of the various legislative bodies across the nation: federal, state, county, local. What we do know to be true is that there are too many examples of a complete breakdown of communication and respect among elected officials at all levels. The confrontational approach, the backroom shenanigans, the pettiness, the unprofessionalism, the lack of decency, the lack of communication, the arrogance, the basic lack of respect, and the narrowness that comes from party loyalty. Now, I do not blame liberals or conservatives, or Democrats or Republicans. As a citizen and constituent, I simply ask every elected official to read and reread the oath of office that they take. And then, as a citizen and constituent, I respectfully ask all of you to take the time to interact with your brethren, discussing intellectually the differences that shape philosophical views on policy and practice. Find common ground. Interact with those you represent when they come to you with a question or a concern. Be visible as a representative of this great county. Avoid bluster and bravado in the press. Nationally, we have seen the fusion of the young voter into the democratic process. Here in the Chicago suburbs, we see the growth of the young families leaving the urban landscape of the big city. They are watching, and yes, they are participating. So what I ask is that you continue to make them proud of their choice of a place to live. We are blessed with natural beauty. We are blessed with a myriad of entrepreneurs who choose this county to provide choice to their residents. We have big cities. We have small villages here in Kane County. So let's make their tax dollar fiscally sound. And then continue to maximize the utility of all of our resources. Make citizens proud of their representatives. And most of all, do all this with respect and dignity for your fellow lawmakers and the staff that you've assembled, working as best you can toward consensus without degrading anyone's view or philosophy. Thank you for your service to our county. Good luck in your term ahead. God bless all of you, and God bless the county of Kane. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thinking about Kane County and what I would be saying today, I'd like to keep my notes brief. Yesterday, I was taking a look at quotes on what I could possibly represent here that would have merit and thought to all of you. And I went back to the presidents of the United States. Scrolling through that, I found 3 people that I'd like to share, each one a quote, each one different. And one got changed to a first lady. The first quote I'd like to present to you is by Franklin Pierce. He was our 14th president. He was a liberal man. The United States was just forming. Around 1850, things were calm. The slavery effort was calming down, still very much at the forefront, but it was going to be restricted just to the southern states until he decided, in order to get a good vote, he was going to pass the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which encouraged the development of a railroad in the southern part of the United States. With that, opened up slavery on the western states. With that, opened up the next steps towards a civil war, a fight for freedom for all. And with this, here was his quote. While men inhabiting different parts of this vast continent cannot be expected to hold the same opinions, they can unite in a common objective and sustain common principles. Now I'm going to take that out of the movement for slavery, but it's certainly for Kane County to take a look at the diverse economic opportunities that are here, the welcoming of celebrating the diversity that we have here in Kane County. The 33% of our population is Hispanic. 6% of our population is African-American descent. We have seniors, we have youth, we have working class individuals, and all of their values need to be represented in our decisions making, not just agriculture, not just urban, but working together, united front. Because if we don't, then a war, metaphorically, can take place. The next one, jump ahead into the 20th century. Harry Truman. He was our 33rd president. He took office after the death of Franklin. He was not very well liked during his presidency. He again was too liberal. And a conservative base after Franklin's term of office, felt that they needed to go into a different direction. And yet his legacy of what he left behind was extraordinary. It was the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe after World War II, and the NATO, group of nations that now Ukraine is fighting to get in to protect itself. And his words of wisdom, I think, are very important to me and should be very important to all of us. It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit. Because we make a decision here, your vote, your 24-member vote is the decision. You may be the spokesperson, but there are 23 other people behind you who helped craft that decision. So together we work as a team. Together, 24 of us, we're all one, bringing together that diverse opinion into one solid opportunity to do what's best for our county. And the last one is a first lady. This was an unusual woman because she certainly did not take the standard of what a first lady traditionally would do. Having teas, showing up and making sure that she plants her garden, having advocacy for children. This is Eleanor Roosevelt. She was, again, not very well liked during the presidency because she did something completely different. She didn't act like the typical first lady. But upon her husband's death, instead of retiring, she pressed the United States to join and support the United Nations and became the very first delegate. She served as the first vice chair of the UN Commission on Human Rights and oversaw the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which we still use. And later, during John F. Kennedy's administration, she chaired the Commission on the Status of Women. And I challenge you with her last quote. You must do the things you think you cannot do. You must do the things you cannot do. Kane County has challenges ahead. And how are we going to get from point A to point B to make sure it's best for all of us? And that is your challenge that I leave with you. So our next step is to swear in an individual who's going to provide safety and security to our county, and one who we all are dearly fond of, the swearing in of our Sheriff, Ron Hain.
Want to say a few words?
All right, so it's my pleasure to swear in Sheriff Payne for his second term here in Kane County. If you would raise your right hand for me, please. I state your name.
I, Ron Hain,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Kane County Sheriff
the duties of Kane County Sheriff
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
I'm just gonna-
Ignore the blood.
No blood, right?
Not as easy as it looks.
Get it? All right. Oh, it's fine. You can leave it just like that.
Okay.
Thank you. That's my beautiful wife, Ashley, everybody. Delavan, our youngest, Sloan, one of our middles of 5 kids that we have at our house. So yeah, wish us luck, right? Special thanks to Judge Cruz. He swore me in for my first term, and I felt it necessary to have him back to do my second term. And let's hear it for the Kane County Sheriff's Honor Guard. for posting the colors. And finally, one of the most beautiful pictures in the world, all of those brave men and women from Kane County Sheriff's Office standing in the back. Arguably the best. Thank you for that. And of course, if you went to St. Charles High School in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, you probably had the your skin crawl like I did when you heard Ray Rogina up here talking like, oh God, am I in trouble again? Great speech though, Mayor. Much appreciated. Great to have you here. I could have taken my swearing in somewhere else or apart from the board members, but I thought it was very important to do it here today, because we've had an outstanding relationship with our Kane County Board over the last 4 years. We have taken the Sheriff's Office from a fledgling, relatively unfunded agency that was kind of considered the laughingstock across the county when you compare us to other police agencies, to the upper echelon, arguably in the nation over the last 4 years. And that has come from the outstanding relationship we've built with the Kane County Board, a relationship that has never been there before. Transparency, collaboration, communication. That's how we got it all done. We've also launched some of the most progressive programs inside of our Kane County Jail that has dropped recidivism from 49%, folks, 49%. 1 in every 2 people coming out of our jail was coming right back, down to 18% is where we ended last year. We dropped, thank you. We dropped the opioid overdose deaths of the formerly incarcerated in the jail by 89%. When you talk about the seriousness of the opioid epidemic. And by diverting people from custody, we've saved our taxpayers over $5 million over the last 4 years. So special thanks to our corrections staff and our fine program staff that's sitting up here in front, and our reentry specialists that work in the jail. This is their life passion on a daily basis. So finally, I want to congratulate all of our returning board members and all of our new board members. I look forward to having an outstanding relationship with you all. And I know it's going to be as beautiful as it's been over the last 4 years. So welcome aboard and good to have you back. Thank you very much.
So y'all ready? No turning back now. Okay, with that, it comes, I'd like to have all the board members come up, please, for your swearing in. And I'll be turning the microphone over to Judge Valdez. Turn it on.
There's a small state mark on the far side. That's kind of the thing. Test.
All right.
Apparently by. All right. Good morning, everyone. And again, congratulations on being part of such an important group to our county and to the citizens that you're going to be serving. Could you all please raise your right hand? I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Kane County Board Member according to the best of my abilities. Congratulations.
This is going to be a very rarity for me, but I get to now have you get sworn in as Forest Preserve board members. So one came first and now the second one. So this will probably be the last time I get a chance to see all of you as a Forest Preserve. I'm teasing. But here we go. One more time.
Please raise your right hands again. I state your name. Do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Forest Preserve Commission of Kane County according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
So now I'll step back and we have your certificates, and I think Judge Valdez will be signing everything. Is that correct? So that'll happen after this, but let me give you your certificate of election. Do you want to help me distribute? Here we go. Here's a pile. Yeah, here. Why don't you do that side too? Here we go.
Young lady.
Yeah. I'll come up and say hello to everybody. I got two. I get two. Is it on? There we go. I think this is probably a great board. Look at this wonderful group. So, so with that, I think formally, I have to say that we are going to officially now recess for lunch to later on today at 1 o'clock to the Kane County Boardroom. So with that, I think we can do a motion to dismiss. Let's all do it. Sanchez seconds. A recess. All in favor? Aye. Take a lot of photos, have some treats, and say hello to everybody.